Did you know that stress could be costing you money?
What?
It can also be costing you time, energy, happiness, and productivity. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Evie Bartlett, I'm a registered dietitian, and you are watching Joyful Nutrition. This video is the last part of a 3-part series all about having more energy throughout the day, whether at work or at play. We've talked about gaining energy by increasing our activity levels, even if it's little tweaks to our daily routine, and by being more mindful about what we eat during the day at our desk. So if you've missed the last 2 videos, I'll go ahead and link them towards the end of this one, and you can check them out once you're finished here. As humans, we're not merely skin and bones, but we're also mind, body, and spirit. Being intentional about taking care of all aspects of ourselves is a great foundation for creating overall wellness. Research states that 71% of American adults deal with some sort of mental fatigue or stress while at work. Symptoms include headaches, feeling overwhelmed, lacking motivation, and/or being anxious. Stress itself is a sneaky culprit for many adverse health conditions. Specifically for the work environment, stress can show up in symptoms like poor job performance, poor communication with coworkers, decreased productivity, and a host of other negative effects on physical and emotional status. Now remember that I said stress could be costing you money? Well, the things I just mentioned are the reasons why. When we're not operating at our best mentally, our performance suffers. This could be the difference between that promotion you've been after, the raise you want, or simply the difference between showing up or staying home. All of these reasons are good enough to treat stress like the real problem it is and to find ways to decrease it in our lives. You've heard it said, be sure you love what you do so you can live a happy life. But sometimes, even if you love your job, the daily grind can simply begin to wear you down. Feelings of stress, overwhelm, and frustration lead to overall fatigue and even a breakdown of your immune health. So it's really important to keep your mental state clear and healthy. Feeling happy is not always something that comes naturally. While I do know that mindset and developing patterns of positive thinking on a regular basis can greatly improve a person's feelings of contentment, sometimes you just need something that can troubleshoot your outlook on a more immediate time frame. I guess you could call these emergency hacks for a better mental state. Now, I will say I'm not a mental health professional, so what we talk about today, while based on research, would be best discussed with your healthcare provider who's licensed in this area. But I can say as a dietitian and nutrition counselor, I have found that there are many areas where food and a person's mental state often relate to one another. Many times what we eat has more to do with our beliefs about food and how we're feeling in the moment than it does about the food itself. And if what we eat affects how we feel, and how we feel affects what we eat, then it's probably a good idea to figure out how we can take control of our feelings and emotions by taking care of our mind and body so we can have more energy and be productive throughout the day. So that's where I come in. I'm no stranger to the effects of stress. In fact, stress and overwhelm are 2 very good reasons that I abandoned my original career path of becoming a pharmacist and followed a more natural approach by becoming a registered dietitian. Not to say you need to switch your career choice to become happier, but in cases like mine, switching to a career that aligned better with my convictions made more sense. After working as a pharmacy technician for 2 years, I decided that my heart was leaning more towards a preventative approach to health rather than using a pill to address a condition that many times could have been prevented with better lifestyle choices. Coupled with my own health struggles at the time, finding an alternate approach to health over medicine was the route I chose to take, and is also in part why I love bringing nutrition education to you on this channel. I truly believe better health and actually feeling better is possible when we start taking better care of ourselves, body, mind, and soul. And since this channel is fairly new, I like to start with the basics because it's truly the little tweaks that become the better habits that allow for bigger changes down the road. Ultimately, better health, happiness, and life fulfillment is what we all want. And it starts with making a conscious effort to become a better you each day. So let's dive in. Number 1 is keep your workspace organized. Minimize. By starting with something as simple as decluttering your workspace, you can gain some serious mental relief. People tend to perform better and feel more in control when their workspace is in order. Keeping clean can also promote a sense of competence and efficiency and diminishes distraction. When you work in a disorganized environment, it can cause subtle frustration when things are missing or out of place. This slows productivity and increases procrastination. So go ahead and take a day to get your desk organized so your mind can focus on the money makers rather than the mess. Tip number 2, aim for 15 minutes of sunlight per day. I mentioned this in a previous video, but sun is a great way to boost your mental clarity. Even though sun can sometimes get a bad rep, when used in moderation, sunlight can be a great way to add some perk-up points into your day. Vitamin D is hard to come by in the average American diet, but the sun is an excellent natural source of immune-boosting, mood-enhancing vitamin D. Aim for about 15 minutes of quality time in the sun per day, and your body and your coworkers will thank you. Tip number 3 is ditch the sweetened beverages. Have you ever seen the charts with the bags full of sugar that represent how much sugar is in your drink? It can be shocking to realize how much sugar we drink on a regular basis without really even thinking about it. Sugar is bad for many reasons, but in particular for things that require focus and attention, it tends to cause mental fatigue, energy drainage, and the dreaded brain fog. So check out the label on your favorite drink and consider making the switch to something that will hydrate rather than drag you down, such as lemon water sweetened with stevia, or Zevia, which is a sugar-free carbonated beverage if you feel like you need a little extra fizz. Tip number 4, bring earbuds and listen to calming music such as classical. It really does work. My mom told me about this trick for years, but I never really was a believer until I was studying for my registered dietitian exam. You'll be shocked at how much focus and mental clarity a bit of Bach or Beethoven can bring. This is also a great excuse to turn off distractions and not be tempted to gossip with your tirelessly chatty, well-meaning workmates. I will note that not all conversation during the day is bad. Some conversation, especially the positive, feel-good kind, can really help to release happy hormones in the brain and increase your overall mood and well-being. So schedule lunch with your favorite coworker or nearby friend if you work from home, and turn up the classical music when you're ready to focus. Tip number 5 is practice deep breathing periodically throughout the day. You'd be surprised how good this feels when you put this into practice. After a hectic morning of meetups, emails, and projects, intentionally taking in a deep breath and letting it out slowly 2 or 3 times can really relieve some mental load. This is because deep breathing forces your blood pressure to decrease by lowering your heart rate. It also decreases your cortisol levels, which is a hormone involved in the fight or flight response. So take a minute and breathe in relaxation and breathe out stress, and you're on your way to a lighter mental load. It really is the little things that can be done regularly that can certainly make a big difference over time. I hope these tips and tricks serve to help you on your journey to a better you at the workplace. Over our life, we spend a whopping average of 13 years and 2 months at work, so it makes sense that we should do what we can to make our time there as positive, stress-free, and joyful as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, go ahead and hit the like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more health and wellness content I'll be bringing to you each week. Have a joyful and blessed day.